Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, said there is no going back on its planned protest to demand that no one has the right to kill in the name of God following the killing of Deborah Yakubu, a female student of Shagari College of Education in Sokoto State, stoned and burnt to death by mob of Islamic extremists over alleged blasphemous statement against Prophet Muhammad on Thursday morning. CAN, in a press statement signed by Joseph Bade Daramola, CAN General Secretary dated on Saturday, May 14, 2022, had requested all church leaders to use their churches to demand justice for the killed female student, Deborah Yakubu. We are to hold placards with some succinct message like "We demand justice for Deborah. No more killing in God's name. Enough is enough. Police stop unprovoked killings in Nigeria. Christians are not second-class citizens. Killers of Deborah must be prosecuted. We condemn religious killings. We say no to Islamic extremists," the press release reads. In this compressive report published by the Punch newspaper, the Christian body insisted that they would not back down on the protest. The Punch newspaper report reads thus. The Christian Association of Nigeria says it will go ahead with its nationwide protests against the lynching of Deborah Yakubu, a 200-level student of Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, who was stoned to death and burned for allegedly blaspheming Prophet Muhammad. This is despite a ban on religious protests by Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, an appeal by Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, and moves by some northern governors for CAN to shelve its planned protests. Also, CAN chapters in Plateau and Benue states, which are the umbrella bodies for churches in the two states, said they would organize protests against Deborah's killing. The spokesman for the CAN president, Reverend Bayo Oladeji, said the protests would hold on Sunday nationwide. Oladeji, however, said the protests would take place in front of CAN secretariats in various states or major churches, adding that there would be no procession. Responding to a question, the cleric said, "Of course, the nationwide protests will continue. We are not going to take to the streets, so nobody should stop us from gathering in front of our premises. We will be by CAN secretariats and lift up our placards. In cities where there are no CAN secretariats, we will use big churches to stage protests. We know too well that if we take to the streets, they will use thugs to hijack it. So, we will gather in front of our churches. We are not going to take to the streets." Also, in a chat with the Punch, the Force Public Relations Officer, Mr. Muyiwa Adejobi, said CAN had not informed the police of any demonstration. He, however, said the Christian body had the constitutional right to protest. Adejobi said even though CAN had said it would not be a street protest, there was a need for the Christian body to ensure that the demonstration was conducted in a responsible manner such that it would not lead to a breakdown of law and order. He added, "We heard of the planned protests in the news and of course, everyone has a right to protest in a lawful manner, but it must be done in such a manner that it must be done in a calm and mature manner so that it doesn't worsen issues." Plateau government bars protest. But the Plateau state government said it would not allow any protest in the state in connection with Deborah. The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Dan Manjang, made the government's position known in an interview with the Punch in Jos on Tuesday. While condemning the manner the student lost her life as unjustifiable, he warned CAN and the state against joining such protests if doing so would contravene an existing law in the state. The commissioner said, "We won't allow the protest. There is a law banning public protests in the state, and as a government, we won't welcome any form of protest. We are working with security agents to ensure it does not happen. This is important so that miscreants won't take the opportunity and hijack the protest to cause confusion in Plateau. So, if they, CAN, trespass against the provision of the law will take its course." Plateau CAN insists on protest. The Plateau State chapter of CAN insisted that it would go ahead with the planned protest despite the ban by the state government. The state chairman of CAN, Reverend Polycarp Lubo, told the Punch in Jos on Tuesday that the protest would hold on Sunday at 3 p.m. Lubo said, "We have concluded plans to hold the protest in the state as directed by CAN national body. We have mobilized our members to come to our secretariat in Jos by 3 p.m. on Sunday when it will take place." When reminded about the state government's warning against holding public procession because of the existing law, the CAN chairman denied knowledge about any law banning protest in the state, saying, "I'm not aware of any such law." The police public relations officer in the state, Yuba Ogaba, was not readily available for comment on the matter as several calls put across to his mobile phone were not answered. Benue can to join protest. The Benue state chapter of CAN also said that the Christians in the state would join the nationwide protests called by the national leadership of the association. Chairman of CAN in the state, Reverend Akben Leva, who spoke to our correspondent on the phone, said that the protest would be within the secretariat. Yes, we are going to protest on Sunday, but it is going to be a peaceful protest. We are not going to march on the street. You know the situation in the country and we don't want to cause any crisis. We are going to register our voice against jungle justice and unnecessary killings in the nation. Even the directive from the National Secretariat is that we should do the protest within the Secretariat, Reverend Leva said. Efforts to get the Benue State Command spokesman, Catherine Onene, did not succeed as she did not pick up calls to her phone. Borno police bar protests. However, the Borno State Police Command said on Tuesday that it would not permit any protest of any kind. The Commissioner of Police, Abdu Umar, in a chat with The Punch, said, "We have banned all forms of gathering in Borno State. We shall not allow protests of any kind to hold in Borno because criminal elements may hijack it and turn it into something else." Greater than view this post on Instagram. Greater than a post shared by Punch Newspapers, at Punch Newspapers. The police will not grant permission to anybody or group to hold any rally, and if we catch anybody or group flaunting our order, the law will take its course. The CAN chairman in Borno State, Mohammed Naga, refused to react to the police's directive, saying, "I cannot grant an interview on the phone. But the police made a proclamation and it is all over the news, so I cannot say anything, please." Niger police react. Also, the Niger State Police Command has stated that the state chapter of CAN has yet to inform the command about any peaceful protest as instructed by the national leadership of the association. This was stated by the Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Abiodun Wasiu, on Tuesday. He added that it was not in his position to say if CAN would be granted permission to hold a peaceful protest, while acknowledging that it was every citizen's right to hold a peaceful protest. "As much as it is every citizen's right to hold a peaceful protest, it's not in my place to say if CAN will be granted permission to hold one in the state," Wasiu said. He added that it was necessary for anyone who wanted to have a peaceful protest to liaise with security agencies for logistics and protection to avoid the protests being taken over by miscreants in society. The Niger state government had earlier called on security agencies to deal with anyone who tried to incite trouble in the state while appealing to Christians in the state to remain calm. This was contained in a statement signed by the press secretary to the Niger state governor, Mary Burge. At the time of filing this report, the secretary of the state chapter of CAN, Mr. Opawale, neither picked nor returned calls put through to him. El Rufai talks tough. The Kaduna state governor, Malam Nasir El Rufai, on Tuesday, warned troublemakers to steer clear of the state, adding that anyone who attempted to undermine the security of the state would be dealt with regardless of status. The state government bans any form of protest. The state government, through its Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwin, announced a ban on any form of religious protests in the state with immediate effect. El Rufai had directed security operatives to ensure strict enforcement of the ban. The governor was quoted by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwin, in a statement in Kaduna on Tuesday to have conveyed his appreciation to the good people of the state. According to the statement, Governor Nasir El Rufai has conveyed his appreciation to religious, traditional and community leaders, as well as security agencies in Kaduna State for their sincere and spirited pursuit of peace interventions. The governor gave his commendation in a statement on Tuesday, after a review of the security situation in light of recent tensions over developments in another northern Nigerian state.